Hi guys, welcome back. And after the absolute highs of P1 last week in the Champion GP, we are back at it with qualifying from Sao Paulo, Brazil GP event this week. We are hoping that we can go again and get that magic P1 number. Here's what I've got in store for you in qualifying. We've got 2 races from Brazil, and we've also got Spain and Hungary in the mix. Hungary, very painful track indeed. And this is what we're going to be using. We are going to be using Sainz and Verstappen because Sainz has got the boost. And we'll potentially be using Norris in the wet, but I'm undecided just yet. But here we go. We're kicking straight onto it. You want to see me go big. So let's kick it off and register for the event in Champion. And we're putting that 10 million away and we're going straight into it. Here we go. Can we do and repeat what we did last week? Let's do it. Race 1 from Brazil. Race number 1, Brazil. And we have got a player who is 50 higher team score. So this will be interesting to see where we qualify. And it's not looking great qualifying at present. So Carlos Sainz is in P6. And we've got Max Verstappen in P10. So we're going to have to do some work on this one to try and get us up the field. So we're going to go Vice and Verstappen. We are going to go for the lumberjack because I want the extra tyre and overtaking speed. We're going to do 4 laps on both. I should get a big enough gap between the two. But the rival 1 and 3, I mean, he's laughing. But here we go. And it's 5 lights and away we go. And can we get a good start with Sainz? He's trying to go up the inside, and he does. And now we are quickly into P3 and P7 with Max. So a brilliant start. And we're going to cut down shortly, probably just the end of this corner. And we do manage to get P2. And we are in to P5 with Max now. Eventually, maybe not. P6 for Max, so we'll cut them down there. And we are going to do 4 laps on the soft. Coming back for 4 laps on the medium. And we're going to hope that the rival goes and does 4 laps on the soft ahead of us and then goes on to hards. So this is not lost at all in this race. We've made a good start. And Sainz now has Sainz behind him. He's probably not used to saying that one, is he? Double trouble. And we are going to try and just close the gap a little bit, putting on that medium power. And we want to build the gap as well for Max. So I'm pretty happy where we are at the moment. That Voice is going to be pretty quick. And what's the gap at the moment? So we've got a good sort of 4.5 seconds. So we've got that pit stop that we need already. And we are now closing in on Max Verstappen at the front. And Max Verstappen, our Max Verstappen, is closing on his other self, his robot self. As Sainz will now come back for. And Max Verstappen up the inside. And Max Verstappen is now in to P5. Brilliant move there. Cameraman had to quickly angle out to try and capture that for you. And here we go. It's really coming down now to the crucial part. And that medium tyre in P3 is going to go an extra lap. And the question is, can we undercut that medium tyre? We're into the pits with Carlos. Max now coming in the pits as well. Beautifully timed as Sainz comes out. And now can we get Verstappen into clear air to really now attack the undercut? He's going to get a bit. And what are we? 9.4 behind P1 at the moment. Don't think it's going to be enough to undercut with Max. But we do get P7. And we are down to 9 seconds now. And he's just into the pits. So we're going to have to do this the hard way to try and get up the field further. We're right behind P1. And we are trying to overcome a tough matchup as Carlos Sainz goes through into P1. And that is now P1 and P4. And the rivals come out on a soft tyre. So we're going to have to hope for the best and hope that Lumberjack helps us past. But that rival should be pretty quick. And it looks like it's going to be a case of damage limitation on this race. As here we go, Max Verstappen with a lunge. Can he get it done? He can't. and the AI comes out and blocks us a little bit. But can we get P3? Max is trying on the Ferrari, and he is into P3. So Max is in P3, chasing down P2. Because it's an AI, I think they should start boosting this lap. So I'm going to find it difficult. As the rival crosses the line, he should start boosting, and he does. So that's what usually the AI does do. Last lap, it will always boost. So it's going to be very tough to hold that position. But we're keeping going. We've got Sainz in the lead. He's going to be P1. And we're going to hopefully get past Latifi without any issues. But can we keep P3? It's going to go all the way to the line. We're low on fuel. We're cutting down. I don't want it to cut down. It's a fight to the line. But it's P1 and P3 to start this event. Good job in the end, 46 points. And just to show you the matchup, we're a good 62 down. And it's on to race 2, where hopefully we get a better matchup. But that's very good. I'm happy with that. 46 points in the bag. Race number 2, and we've got a better matchup this time. We're a good amount ahead, and we're hoping that I've picked my 2 dry drivers for this, and I was hoping it's paid off, and certainly in qualifying it has. We're P4 and P8, and we have got a dry race as well. So that'll do me. That's absolutely perfect for me, and we're going to start then attacking this. So going to try and do a bit of dead fast on Max. We usually would go lumberjack, but I'm feeling a little bit different. We're going to go for the dead fast. And here we go. Spain, Catalonia, and it's lights out. And where can Carlos Sainz get off the start? So he makes a good start, straight up the inside, and it's Carlos Sainz into P1. And how about Max there? Max is in P6. Can he get round? Well, I don't know where he's going there, if I'm honest, but he's lost a position. And he's into P7. So he's up a place from the start. That's all that matters. And we are going to now settle down into this race. And hopefully, can we get Perez? Hangs us out to dry. And we can't quite get him. So we're going to settle down. We're going to look after our tyres. We are on dead fast. We've got hard tyres in front of us. So we'll want to dispatch them ASAP. And hopefully we'll use our famous overtaking point. And if you haven't watched it already, guys, there is a track guide for this track. And coming up is one of the best overtaking spots. So we're going to boost a little bit. And coming up to this corner here, we are straight through now into P6. And that is how you use that. That is one of the best corners to overtake on. And we are into P6 now. Hopefully P3 and P4 will go on to hard tyres. That will help us a little bit. As Max then comes around into P6. So Carlos Sainz absolutely fine. We're going to boost to bring closer to Sainz. And hopefully we'll jump up the inside now into this turn. Straight up the inside. And we're into P5. So we're making moves as Carlos Sainz is absolutely flying out front. He'll come back for some softs, I think. As now Max Verstappen then, few pit stops. I think Lewis Hamilton was in the pits there. And he's coming back out on the hards. So we're up to P4. And in terms of P2 and P3, they're only just ahead. And we are going to now close that gap. We've got the extra fuel. Fuel's not an issue. Tyres are. But not so much for our man Max. And Max has closed right up to the pit stoppers here. And he's going to fly in here. And here we go. We're in the pits as Carlos Sainz comes out P2. And we're going to boost Max to the end. So can we get clear air? We're not. Hamilton just gets out ahead of us. Sainz is only just behind the medium, so that's fine. As Max Verstappen round the outside gets shut out. Can he go again? Not quite. And up the inside, it's like blooming yo-yo. We're in and out. We're up and down. And Max Verstappen in P6 now, and we're going to be boosting to the end. P2 is in the pits, so that's going to be hard to overtake, but Max goes up the inside. It's now P5 into P4, and we are now chasing down P3 and P2 on that hard and medium. And Max is giving us a champion's drive. He is round the outside of Charles Leclerc, and he's now on the back of himself. What can we do? Can we get P2? We've got 2 laps to go. We've got Carlos Sainz flying out front. and we're right behind Max. Can we do it? Oh, that was our position there. Absolutely blocked off by Max. And he's not going to make it easy for us. But can we get him up the inside? We can. And we are in to P2. So P1 and P2. Carlos Sainz is about to complete his last lap as he crosses the line. So 1 lap to go for him. And Max has done brilliantly to get up to P2. Giving you an indication on the boosts. Downforce we use for the corners and the grip. And obviously a little bit of tyre management. Max Verstappen can do 4 laps on these mediums anyway, so I don't need tyre management, but I've used a dead fast for the speed and the fuel. But obviously he's got the slight bit of tyre management with dead fast anyway. Always get grip and tyre management used. Confuses me sometimes, but we live and we get there. But that is 47 points in the dry in Spain, so a big W for us in there. We've started 46 points and we've got 47 points as well. Our next race will be Hungary, and it is up there with Canada as a pain in the... And of course I was never going to finish that sentence, but we're into race 3. It is Hungary. It is a very difficult track and we're in the dry at the moment. It's P4 and P7 and the race is going to be dry as well. So I'm going to try something different and I'm going to go tuning for Max, and Carlos Sainz is going to go on my Herald, so the acceleration. We're going to do both on softs. We're going to come back for mediums, and the hope is that Max Verstappen can get a very quick pit stop and undercut anyone doing 5 laps. So here we go, lights out. Carlos Sainz up the inside straight away, and he is in to P2, and not bad from Max Verstappen either, into P5, and that is a great start as we try and go up the inside, and Max Verstappen using that tuning to effect. So we're cutting down, very difficult part of the track because Max nearly gets past Max, but Max is very slow and he's on the hard, so we're going to have to get past Max Verstappen, and that is without even trying. We've just conserved past, and we're in P4. So we've made a brilliant start as Sainz takes an interesting line through that corner. And tuning has got the corner in for this track, so I'm hoping we can absolutely fly around, come back for some mediums with a really quick pit stop, and we can absolutely skate past that Ferrari of Carlos Sainz at the front. And here we go. So we're just going to cruise round, keep the fuel, and I'm going to just close the gap a little bit with Sainz. He's got more fuel than Max, so we're just going to boost down the straight and we're going to come back in and conserve, and we'll do the same next time. We've got about 3.8 seconds, so we need to pull it out a little bit more for Carlos. And we're just going to do the back section again. And looks like Carlos Sainz for Ferrari this week is going to be very quick, so they've got a decent race car under themselves, unlike Mexico, if you watched Mexico recently. So we're going to boost again. And that tune-in is actually bringing us pretty much into line with him at the minute. So we're going to keep going. And we are going to come for the mediums. And let's have a look around us. So Max has got a bunch of hard tyres behind him and a bunch of mediums. And he might actually get ahead of Norris in 10th for the way he's carrying on. And we're going to boost Sainz again now. And we're going to boost Max Verstappen as well. Just to create that extra second maybe that we might get. And we are in. So Carlos Sainz pits from P2. Russell carries on round. Verstappen should do a very quick pit stop here. And Sainz carries out in P2. Max Verstappen is already out. Yeah, brilliant pit stop. And we've skipped the traffic and we're out in P4. Now, Carlos Sainz is on the mediums. So we should be able to chase him down with the help of the boosts. And we are right behind him with Carlos already. And we're trying to go up the inside. And hopefully corner 1. And we've got a safety car. We have got a safety car. Which is annoying. Because I was just about to take P2. Or P1 I should say. So that's annoying. We're going to go around this lap. And we could have probably pitted for softs with Verstappen. But we didn't have enough time to react. And it is going to be helter-skelter to the line. We're going to have 2 laps ahead of us. It's going to be a dash. And we've got George Russell behind us on softs. The rest of the field, most of them have got a pit on the hards. So this is going to get very interesting. This is not what we really wanted, but it brings Max closer to Sainz at the front. But can we keep P2 and 3? Can we get higher? And we certainly don't want to lose anyone to George here. How fast is George Russell going to be? So as Ricciardo crashed, we're about to go again. The lights are off. We're off. And we are down the home straight. Carlos Sainz on Carlos Sainz. Up the inside, round the outside. Here we go. Carlos Sainz into the lead. What about Max? Max all over the back of Sainz. Sainz goes defensive. And it is going to be up the inside. And it is P1 and P2. Oh, excitement like real life, guys. That's what happens when you come to this channel. You get a bit of fun. Bit of excitement. And it is P1, P2 on our notoriously very difficult Hungary track. And that worked out pretty well in the end, because it could have been very tricky. It could have gave us just a lap and a half to really have a go at Sainz in the lead. But now it looks quite easy. We're cruising. That tuning worked an absolute treat. And you can see Max is sticking with Carlos Sainz. And that is beautifully played in the end. It's P1 for Sainz in the Ferrari. It's P2 for Max in the Red Bull. But in theory, they're actually as a WF1 drivers. So we'll absolutely take it. We've got a better strategy than Ferrari. We've got the race pace of Red Bull. And it is 47 points in the bag. It's time for race number 4. And it's something about this track and Brazil, because it gives us another minus 50-60 matchup. And it's trying to make it hard in Brazil. And it's P6 and P10 with Carlos Sainz and his Verstappen in P1 and P2 and P3. And bearing in mind, guys, I'm using a Max Sainz and a Max Verstappen. And this is where we're starting. Not great, is it? And that's a difference, basically having level 8 Leviathan. I've got level 4, I think it is. And that's a difference. We're going to be using Dead Fast on Max this time. We're going to be trying something different. We used Lumberjack last time. As Carlos Sainz gets another good start. And he's up to P2. Now P3. Somehow loses a position. And we are absolutely buzzing with that. Round the rival and round Sainz. What a start by Carlos Sainz. And we have quickly turned this race on its head. Because we are now sitting in P1 and P4. Absolutely beautiful. And that's what we needed. We've got the rival on a hard and a medium tyre. And we're going to be doing the famous 4-4. And we are just going to cruise around at the minute. Conserve the tyres. We'll be going a lap shorter than the rivals. So we can hit them hard. Whilst they can't push towards the end. And Carlos Sainz, team orders for the rival there. And we have now made it up to P3. When we didn't even want to make a move yet. And that is absolutely beautiful. As Carlos Sainz is now P2 target for Max Verstappen. And he's on the hards. And that Dead Fast is absolutely making us work a treat. Because we are all over the back of Carlos Sainz. Through that turn 1. Our own Carlos Sainz flying ahead. Voice beautifully. And Max now needs to get past Carlos Sainz because he's holding us up. So can we get him? We can or we can't. Or we can't. We can't get him there. But hopefully we'll get him into the first corner. And we do. And it is now P1 and P2. And we've navigated this higher matchup pretty nicely at the moment. And the gap that we've got in question is 7.6 seconds. So we're going to boost Verstappen. Help him bring that down. And we're now pitting for the medium tyres. And Max is flying out there. Max has already got a gap of about 3 seconds as he comes into the pits. So Sainz will rejoin the race in P1. P3 pits. So we're going to boost Sainz to the end. And a few cars go past. We want to get ahead of Leclerc. Less traffic. We're not. But we are boosting to the end comfortably. and we're only 2 seconds off P2. So we should get back into second place quite easily once the pit stops happen here. We're not going to worry. No need to stress. We got it all under control. And these should now all filter off into the pits. Apart from the rival, who goes another lap. But it's not going to matter, because Max Verstappen says, you know what, see you later. I'm off for P1 and P2. I'm off for only 1 point dropped in 4 races. And that is, or will be, 47 points in the bag. As long as something ridiculous like a tractor comes on the track or something like that, or Zhao or Ricciardo hit us off the track, we'll be absolutely fine in this race. As we're going wide, Bottas holding me up, but we are absolutely easy here. The rival's coming out P7. We've got 1 lap to go in Sao Paulo, Interlagos circuit, and it is coming home for a great start to qualifying. One of our highest qualifying starts for a while, being 187 points. As Sainz comes up to lap his other Carlos Sainz. Can we lap him before the line? A bit of fun. He's going, it's a photo finish. It's not going to happen. We couldn't lap him. And Verstappen will come round to complete P2. Get past Latifi, please. He's past Latifi. And he finishes in P2, Max Verstappen, P1, Carlos Sainz. And that is qualifying for the Brazilian GP event done and dusted. We'll wait for the rival to finish so we can have a look on exactly how we scored. But that is a decent start. And it's decent to know where we're going to start placing qualifying wise as well. 47 points. And look at the rival. We'll check the rival out. He had a 1809 team score, and I bet you it's just the engine, maybe True Grit as well. So the drivers were exactly the same. We're even on drivers, and look at the setup. The difference is True Grit and the Viafon level 8. We were facing a max account there. We had level 4 Viafon, level 7 Hydra. That is the difference, obviously, with the True Grit as well. So that's what I could have one day on the right. But for now, we'll use our skills and we'll actually just get 47 our own way. So 47 points in the bag. Let's have a look. 187 points we finish on. Top spot in qualifying at the moment. And you can see 46, 47, 47, 47. That is qualifying done. Let me know how you get on if you've made it this far through the video. Let me know what your expectations are for the weekend. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.